Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, December the 12th, 2014. A Palestinian man threw acid at a Jewish family in the West Bank today. The suspect is said to have approached the family's car at a checkpoint between the Jewish settlement of Beitar Illit, where the family is from, and the Palestinian village of Hussan, southwest of Jerusalem. The Times of Israel reports that the man was posing as a hitchhiker. He then threw acid through the window at the father of the family, also hitting the mother and their 3 daughters, aged 8 to 10. The suspect was also reportedly holding a screwdriver, and there were conflicting reports as to whether he tried to attack anyone with it. There are also reports that 2 other pedestrians in the area were hit by the acid as well. The victims, who suffered light burns, were treated at the scene by Magen David Adom paramedics and taken to Hadassah Hospital in fair condition. The suspect was shot in the leg by an Israeli civilian and arrested by Israeli security forces and taken to the hospital, where he was said to be in moderate to serious condition. The suspect is said to be from the West Bank village of Nahalin. There are conflicting reports about his identity. Palestinian news agency Ma'an identified him as 45-year-old Jamal Abed al-Majid Gayatha. Ynet reports a Palestinian source told them the man's name was Jamal Shaharna. Israel Radio reported, citing Palestinian media, that the suspect had served in an Israeli jail. And in a separate incident, a Palestinian driver ran into a concrete barrier that was part of an IDF outpost near Nablus today. A large group of soldiers were gathered at the barrier but managed to get out of the way of the vehicle, and there were no injuries. The Palestinian was lightly wounded, and Israel police were investigating whether the incident was deliberate or accidental. Shots were fired at the Israeli embassy in Athens, Greece early this morning. No one was hurt in the pre-dawn shooting. Police said the shooter or shooters were riding on at least one motorbike when they fired a multitude of bullets during the drive-by shooting. Police said 54 bullet casings from an AK-47 assault rifle were found outside the embassy building. The Greek government condemned the attack. Government spokeswoman Sofia Voltepsi told Reuters that any terrorist attack hitting at the heart of democracy hits at the heart of the country. She said the Greek government is fully determined to ensure the protection of all diplomatic missions in Greece, adding that particularly strong security measures were taken at the Israeli embassy. Israel's foreign ministry said the shooting was the result of Palestinian incitement against Israel. U.S. President Barack Obama spoke about efforts to release jailed Jewish-American contractor Alan Gross this week. Speaking to the Fusion TV station, an ABC affiliate in Florida.
You know, we've been in conversations about how we can get Alan Gross home for quite some time.
With the Cuban government?
We have been working through a whole variety of channels. We continue to be concerned about him. We think that he shouldn't have been held in the first place.
Alan Gross was arrested in Cuba in 2009 for, quote, crimes against the state for providing computer and internet access to the Jewish community there. He was sentenced to 15 years in jail. Gross is now 65 and in poor health. Last week marked the beginning of his 6th year behind bars. A trial to determine damages to be paid by a bank that funded terror attacks is set for May the 18th. Reuters reports that New York Judge Brian Corgan set the trial date on Wednesday. It will decide how much the Arab bank is liable to pay in damages to American victims of Hamas terror attacks in Israel. You may recall that back in September, a New York jury found the Arab bank liable of supporting terrorism by transferring funds to Hamas. 297 American relatives and victims of 24 terror attacks that took place during the Second Intifada filed the federal lawsuit in 2004. The case is the first time a bank has faced a trial under the U.S.'s Anti-Terrorism Act, which entitles victims of U.S.-designated foreign terrorist organizations to seek compensation. Hamas was designated a terrorist group in 1997. U.S. Vice President Joe Biden will help light the national menorah near the White House next week. Biden will take part in the ceremony on the first night of the holiday, Tuesday, December the 16th. which the Washington office of the Chabad movement said also marks the 35th anniversary of the first lighting of the National Menorah, an event sponsored by American Friends of Lubavitch. The large menorah will sit on the Ellipse, a public park located just south of the White House. Other Hanukkah celebrations being planned around the country and the world include a parade of menorah-topped cars in Philadelphia on December the 20th and a menorah lighting and concert at the Eiffel Tower in Paris on the 21st. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, December the 12th, 2014. Remember, live Shabbat services are coming up at 6 tonight from New York City's Central Synagogue. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.